Impact. Top right corner. You still couldn't hear it, could you?
Yep.
Did you hear it?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, there it is.
Let me see if I get it one more time.
I'm not sure what you were expecting when you first heard that Springfield Armory is making a bolt-action rifle. And for that matter, I'm not sure what I was really expecting when I first heard that Springfield Armory was making a bolt gun either. I'll tell you what I wasn't expecting. One of the absolute finest bolt-action rifles that I've ever handled. Springfield Armory makes some good guns, but the Waypoint is exceptional in every way. We'll get into why that is, but in my opinion, the Springfield Armory Waypoint might be the finest offering in the Springfield lineup. Several companies not really known for making bolt-action rifles have started in recent years, and I'll say the Waypoint is definitely the best of that bunch. On top of that, it's much better than some companies that have been specializing in bolt-action rifles for quite some time. Let's start with lightweight, but not just lightweight, perfectly balanced in my opinion. What do I mean by that? A gun can be too light, making even light recoiling rounds feel like you're being kicked by Bruce Lee. The way this one is equipped, it has the gorgeous carbon fiber stock and the Ridgeline camo, coupled with the carbon fiber barrel, and weighs in at 7 pounds 7 ounces on my scale with no accessories. Now keep in mind this one is in 6.5 PRC, so you have the full-length 24-inch barrel, and you also have the adjustable stock. If you went with the fixed stock and a shorter barrel like they have in the 308, you can get that weight below 7 pounds easily. To me, it's about the perfect weight. It's light enough if you wanted to take it hunting, you could easily trek great distances carrying this, while not being so light that it can make 6.5 Creedmoor feel like you're shooting 338 Lapua Magnum on your shoulder. It also balances well for taking some shots in some unusual situations. Even with the most powerful offering in the lineup, 6.5 PRC, the recoil was very manageable. The stock is made by AG Composite and it feels good in all the right places. All kidding aside, the stock has an excellent feel, several QD mounts for slings, a couple sections of M-LOK underneath allowing the attachment of any bipod setup you want. Of course, I'm always going with Atlas. The front is nice and flat to ride a bag or barricade, and the grip has a nice vertical section, and the back is at an angle, letting you quickly ride up and down sandbags to adjust elevation. It's also just clean with no sling swivel studs or anything else hanging off of it anywhere. Let's talk about the action, because a rifle can be made or destroyed with the action. Too light and you can't work the bolt quick enough if you need to get off a quick follow-up shot. Too loose and the action is just sloppy and unreliable. It's a tight line to walk, and you would think a company that has never made a bolt-action rifle before would have a rough time with it, but no, Springfield absolutely nailed it. The action is perfect, not too loose and not too tight. Exactly what every bolt action should be. The bolt itself is fluted, and Springfield has EBM'd the raceways or paths the bolt travels on. Is that the key to the performance? I can't say. I just know it does perform. The trigger is a TriggerTech field trigger and can be adjusted from 2.5 pounds to 5 pounds. I've never touched this one, and it is pulling right out of the box at just over 2.5 pounds from the factory. While we're looking at the trigger, I love where they place the magazine release inside the trigger guard, low profile and out of the way while still very easy to use. Springfield is using a BSF carbon fiber barrel, and they do carbon fiber a little differently. A traditional carbon fiber barrel has carbon fiber, epoxy, and resin wrapped around the steel core of the barrel, and this can trap heat. BSF takes a match-grade blank and thins the barrel out to the desired diameter. Then they flute the barrel again, reducing weight and allowing the barrel to cool faster. Then they jacket the barrel in carbon fiber and don't wrap it. This also lets them tension the rifling, giving them greater accuracy and rigidity. What this means is you'll get traditional bull barrel accuracy at almost 70% lighter weight, and able to cool faster than traditional carbon fiber barrels. All I know is it works, and this rifle is phenomenally accurate. With all of these top-end components, Springfield is essentially delivering as close to a custom rifle at mass production costs as feasibly possible. The Waypoint is available in a couple different configurations that can range the price from $16.99 to $23.99 based on how you configure yours. The one shown in the video is the most expensive configuration with both the carbon fiber barrel and the adjustable stock. If you go with the steel barrel, you can make a significant price drop from $23.99 to $18.25, and you can get that price a little lower with a fixed stock for $16.99. In my opinion, the Waypoint could very well be the best value of any bolt action rifle available, because it is one of the best bolt actions on the market, but really offered an extremely fair price for what you get. Prices will always vary a little based on supply and demand, but those are the MSRPs. The Waypoint features a Remington 700 footprint and will also use Remington 700 sight rails if you want to change out the one that is provided. This means you can virtually customize the Waypoint almost endlessly in any way you see fit. You can always count on the internet. I asked on our social media accounts if anyone had any questions they wanted answered about the Waypoint in this video, so I'll answer those now. No, unfortunately it does not take Glock mags. At least currently, the Waypoint is only available in God's Plaid, also known as camouflage, but there are two different varieties of God's Plaid available. The Waypoint is also not currently in Call of Duty or Halo. It is also not capable of full semi-auto. There were some good questions too, but the internet is always good for a laugh. This particular Waypoint is chambered in 6.5 PRC. So what does that mean? Well, if you were 6.5 Creedmoor, 6.5 PRC would be the guy that your girlfriend told you not to worry about. I've also heard that 6.5 PRC is like 6.5 Creedmoor, but for men. All kidding aside, the best way to describe this is a magnum version of 6.5 Creedmoor. 6.5 PRC has significantly greater case capacity, allowing more gunpowder to push pretty much the same projectiles you would use in 6.5 Creedmoor, harder and faster. It's flatter than Creedmoor, goes farther than Creedmoor, and hits harder than Creedmoor. The only trade-off is slightly greater recoil, but it is still very tame, especially when compared to other rounds with similar capabilities. I would say that the recoil is just barely above 308, which is very impressive given 6.5 PRC's capabilities. And all that translates to, you should be able to reliably shoot this caliber and rifle out to a mile. Springfield guarantees 3/4 MOA out of the Waypoint, and I would say that it's easy to do given good ammo and a good shooter. This group is being shot with Hornady Precision Hunter 143 grain, and I would say that it does seem that the Waypoint does slightly favor this loading over the Hornady Match loading. And I want to apologize, I don't know what's going on with Ballistic X, but for whatever reason it always wants to turn my photos sideways, but it still measures your groups. This one measures in at 0.410 or 0.392 MOA, greatly exceeding the 0.7 MOA claim made by Springfield. And just to give you an idea, this is a group shot with the Hornady Match 147 grain 6.5 PRC. And again, for some reason, Ballistic X turned my photo sideways, but you can see that the group just opened up a hair with the Hornady Match, but it's still a very respectable group and well below the 0.75 MOA guarantee from Springfield. We ran it through all the paces and had great success at 300, 700, and even 1,000 yards. But given the opportunity with this amazing rifle chambered in the very potent and capable 6.5 PRC, I had to see if I could push it out to 1,760 yards, 1 mile, so off to Alabama Precision we went. We actually took this rifle to shoot a mile on 2 different occasions. The first day was terribly windy. Several guys were there trying to get their rifles on, and on that day, unfortunately, everyone was having some serious issues.
Impact.
I did manage to sneak in 1 hit that day, but with the conditions and the cost of 6.5 PRC at the time, I hope when you are watching this things have returned to normal, but at points during this video, 6.5 PRC reached $10 a round. So I decided I wasn't going to send too many downrange on this given day.
I think you got the bottom edge. Impact. Rock and roll. You got that. Where'd you hold?
Our second trip to Alabama Precision to attempt the mile shot was far more successful. Given ideal conditions, I was able to put several shots on the target that day. Also, for the people in the past 1 mile videos we've done saying that the target is the size of a garage door, here it is. It's roughly 2 by 2, making the shot just over 1 MOA. It is not an easy shot. That's TN Steyer standing behind it. You should go check out his channel to see what he did on this day at 1 mile. As always, we got to use some amazing accessories while shooting the Springfield Waypoint. For silencers, we used the Dead Air Nomad TI, which is an amazingly lightweight can at only 9.6 ounces. I love the Nomad series because they sound great and feature the 1 3/8 by 24 rear thread pattern, meaning you can use them with virtually any mounting system available. The addition of the titanium cans in the lineup makes them very lightweight too. Towards the end of the review, we got to use the CGS Hyperion, and this can is nothing short of amazing. 3D printed titanium making it lightweight, and also being the quietest can I've ever heard makes this a serious contender. We'll have a full video on both of these cans soon, but they are both phenomenal choices if you're in the market for a 30 caliber rifle can, and quite literally the first 2 I'd mentioned if you asked me my recommendations. We had some great glass on the Springfield Waypoint as well. We started out with the Horus HOVR or Hover. This is actually an entire system that works with a laser rangefinder, a weather meter, and an app on your phone to provide ballistic calculations. Well, does it work? Well, it works cold bore at 1,000 yards well. That's how well it works. We've done a video on the system, you should go check it out, especially if you're new to long range shooting. This system can kind of help you along. First shot. When we went to shoot the mile, I wanted a little more magnification, so I switched it up to the Right-On Optics X7 Conquer 4-32 by 56. And this scope had more than enough magnification to see out past a mile. At 32 maximum magnification, this scope can see so far it can just about see the future. And with a minimum magnification of 4, this thing has a huge power spectrum and can fill a lot of roles. The glass is exceptionally clear, the turrets have very nice tactical and audible adjustments. There's an integrated throw lever on the magnification adjustment, which lets you quickly move through that massive magnification range, as I said, from 4 to 32 power, making this a very versatile scope. Every feature worked phenomenally well as you saw, and I was able to place several shots on target at 1,760 yards or 1 mile. Not much more praise I can give a scope than that. It worked phenomenally well at extreme distances, truly putting it to the test, and the Right-On X7 performed. We will get this on one more rifle and have a full video out soon, but it has already proven itself to me. This is a straight up badass rifle. Don't know what you were expecting in a bolt action from Springfield, but I'll be honest and say I wasn't expecting to be completely blown away. I figured there would be some revisions and in a couple years they'd have something that was really good, but no. Springfield came out swinging and let everyone else in the bolt action market know that they have a very serious contender and everyone else better up their game. To go even further, everyone who touched this rifle wants one. From hunting enthusiasts to long-range guys, it struck a chord with everyone. I'm just excited to see what's next for the 2020 Waypoint. It's a standard 700 footprint, so let's see a chassis PRS style gun, maybe a Magnum. I'd even like to see this in a shorty with a pork sword chassis or something like that. This is a great rifle as it is, and it's going to be exciting to see where Springfield takes it from here. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and a special thank you to you, the viewers. As soon as I got this rifle in, it was like 6.5 PRC, ammo prices shot through the roof. I put the call out on Instagram and several of you guys came through with a few boxes here and there when you may have bought 6.5 PRC and meant to get 6.5 Creedmoor. Some guys at the Pugley C Gun Emporium are apparently fans of the channel, and they hooked me up with some at a reasonable price, and Nichols Outfitters came through with a few more boxes at a reasonable price to get this video done. I can't say how much I appreciate all that. You guys rock. If you're not subscribed to the channel, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now. As always, we are working on some really big reviews that you won't want to miss. And if you want to know what those reviews are way before they hit the YouTube channel, check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and Parler, and there you can see what's being reviewed in real time. If you like what we do here on the channel and you want to help support the channel, the best possible way to do that is on Patreon. These videos can be surprisingly expensive to make, and every little bit is greatly appreciated. There's also Alabama Arsenal gear available right below the video if you want to go out and represent. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching.
Handbag. Handbag.
Must have a truck watching. I saw the ground glow.
Yeah, it's the spalling.